Good evening, lad.
Hello.
Good evening, anyone who's watching. If you're still awake, we're just doing a little quick little post-match reaction to one of the most boring games I think I've ever seen in my life.
Honestly, I'll have to be quick because I'm going home after the game. But what a fucking shit match that was. Honestly,
Yeah,
I don't know what more can say. The goal, Fleetwood were dirty, absolutely dirty plays. But at the end of the day, we've not done ourselves any favours there. You see Lampard, like if you were at the game, Lampard was screaming, telling the players what to do all the time.
yeah,
Nothing. They look lost. Robertson, the headlight. Ayana was a bit dangly, if being honest. Truth be told, wasn't steady on his feet. I don't need time to bed in, whatever. But we need to improve. We need to improve fast.
yeah. I think that's a fair assessment. I think there was. I think if we're going to try and look for some positives, we won the game. Nobody was injured except for in the warm up. Hey up, my mate. Yeah. I think the Davies injury. It was only. I don't think it was anything much. So hopefully he's all right. But yeah, generally that was dreadful, wasn't it? It was.
One of my mates texted me. He was at the game. I was sitting there. He was standing up, and he went, I feel like this game's gone on 8 hours.
Yes. Yeah, kind of. Especially the second half. Yeah, especially the second half. That kind of felt like we were being punished for something. I think it was. I don't know whether Dan's going to join in a minute. I'm not sure. I've just had a message. Oh no, I think someone's messaging him. Yeah, I think the only positives I can draw from this game is some players who haven't had any. Yeah, we won. Some of the players that needed minutes got some minutes. Onana played a full game, which was good. He was literally kicked from pillar to post. So in a way, that's quite good because if you can stand the rigor of a Division 1 kickabout with some industrial players, then it'd probably be all right in the Premier League, you know.
Yeah, you know what though, in a way, you've just got. I think obviously you're right to take the positive out of it. At the end of the day, it's a cup game. All you have to do is win 1-0. Doesn't matter if you win 5-0. Doesn't mean you win 1-0. You know, it wins a win, and again, that's what we've done. So yeah, I don't know what more I can say, to be honest.
No, it's difficult, isn't it?
When you need, where's Mr. Positive Dan? We fucking need him now because really need positive Dan.
Yeah, we do need positive Dan, but I don't know where he is, to be honest. We've got no idea.
Oh, to be fair, Rondon.
Dave, you're absolutely spot on. Rondon is. If he was a cart horse, he'd be like getting sent to the glue factory because that guy is not a footballer. He is woeful.
Yeah. Right. Listen, I'm going to have to skedaddle. I'm going home, so I'll see you in a bit anyway.
Right. Okay. I'll just carry on from my own for 5 minutes, and I'll just do a quick summary of the match, and we can do a bit of a longer thing tomorrow. I'm just going to read some of the comments out. Well, I think you might be right, Stanley. Sorry, Sam. Is that Sam? Yeah, it is. Sorry, my glasses aren't good. Yeah, we are not exactly amazing, are we? That's generous, Hugh. I think that's genuinely generous. Rondon worked hard, but then like he might as well be anonymous because working hard is no good if you've got nothing about you. Dan has probably fell asleep, I would imagine, because that was bloody awful. Thanks, Julian. Much appreciated. I'm doing my best here. So yeah, obviously I'm not going to stay on long because I don't think anyone's got much of a good word to say. I think the only things I will really comment about. It was nice to see some of the young guys get a game. It was nice to see Stanley Mills come on. Oh, Ryan's here. Hello, I've got some company. I was struggling along by myself there, mate.
No, you didn't.
But yeah, so the big positives, which there aren't many positives. Let's be honest, Ryan. Let's be honest, everyone else who's watching. Welsh did all right. I thought that was decent. I don't know whether that's his full debut, but he did well. I thought Lewis Warrington came on, did all right. Nice to see Stanley Mills getting on the pitch. Like I said, Onana, a bit hit and miss, but he played a full 90. And to me, the good thing about Onana tonight is that he took a good kicking tonight and he kept going, which speaks well for his character. I think that speaks well for surviving the rigors of the Premier League. And Iwobi again. Yeah, let's just quickly talk about Iwobi, because has he been body swapped? I don't know. I've no idea. But I feel like we've signed a completely different player. Like, he went away on international duty and he came back and he's somebody else, like his twin brother, because he's been like a revelation. He's just, it is like watching a different player. He's so much more composed.
Do you think the penny's dropped with him?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's finally figured out that he doesn't need to faff around and do 17 step overs. He just needs to do the basics really well. I think no Gabamin is basically like, because we're looking for moves for some of these players. I think more importantly, 2 feet is Mr. Gordon not coming on the pitch. I think that. Yeah, I think it's going to be bye-bye, despite the fact that we've turned down an original bid. I don't see him being here very long. Sorry, I've just had a ramble. Your go, Ryan.
Well, I haven't really got much to add, Jeff, to be honest with you. I mean, from what I saw, and I'll be completely honest with you, although I own this channel, I didn't watch the whole game. I had a prior arrangement because you know what I was doing instead would have been better for my mental health than watching this really diabolical pedestrian team play. And to be honest with you, I knew that Everton would scrape through. I saw the last 30 minutes and the first sort of 15, 20 minutes. And I imagine it was all much of a muchness throughout, where it felt like Everton were just going through the motions. Fleetwood didn't really have any threat. We were obviously looking to see what the likes of Onana could do with a full 90 minutes. I don't think I've learned anything new about the players, you know, in that sort of 50 minutes overall that I saw. You got Rondon up front, who's a bit of a nuisance, but there's no quality there.
No.
You've got Dwight McNeil, who's...
That's just to answer you, Scott, by the way. Because, he was feeding off the scraps. You are right. But for the fact that he was feeding off scraps, he still couldn't finish a dinner. He just couldn't.
No. He's not a Premier League. He's probably not League One. You know, I look at them though, and what I saw from the players was Dwight McNeil. I don't know why we signed him. You know, because he always has to put the ball on his left foot, which makes it quite predictable.
Yeah.
I was pleased to see Onana get the full 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Iwobi, as you said, he's he's on another level. We look comfortable in defence. What were the fullbacks like, Vinagre and Patterson?
Well, I think that I think they both showed some promise, but you can still see. Excuse me. You can still see that they're young. They're still prone to an error. But I think Patterson is coming along nicely. I think Vinagre did himself well. He was decent getting forward, particularly defensively. He wasn't really massively troubled. Probably got skinned once, but I don't know the young lad who played for Fleetwood, who was coming down their right hand side. He was a bit of a nuisance all night, but again, he didn't really put us under a massive amount of pressure. So,
where are we at though, really? Because I mean, I say two things. The main thing is we got through. The main thing is we're through the next round. But they are League One opposition, and we are struggling to create chances. I think we only had 2 shots on target, and it's not like we played a load of reserves. McNeil, Rondon, and Demarai Gray are arguably now the front 3 moving forward.
Yeah,
I would like to use an expletive, Jeff, to be honest with you, to describe the current situation. Well, it's shit, isn't it? I mean, when have Everton even had such few options? It was only 4, 5, 6 years ago we had Pina, Osman, De La Feu, Lukaku, Fellaini.
Yeah,
these sorts of players, and even recently, James Rodriguez, Richarlison, Gylfi Sigurdsson. We don't have that anymore, and I know there's a lot of criticism on the owners, but it's beyond a joke now. And also the injury.
Hayes, that was his name. Thanks, Amanda.
The injury situation, Jeff, is really a concern because we haven't got a crisis up front. We just don't have the bodies. But we've certainly got some sort of crisis in midfield, and
it was nice to see. It was nice to see Seamus play a full 90, Eugene. That was one of the pluses. Like I said, there was a few pluses. Mostly the pluses were people getting minutes, people who needed minutes, getting a game, and other than what looks like a sort of a minor thing for Tom Davies, like no real problems coming out the other side of the game. So, precautionary. That's the word. Thanks very much, sir. But yeah, I mean, we didn't learn much. And I think, like at the end of the day, like I said, the positives: we won a game of football, technically speaking. Some of the youngsters got a game, which to me is good. Like Eugene said, Seamus getting the full 90 was really good because that bodes well for him being back to sort of a level where he can be involved in the squad. I saw that, but that was only once. That was only once, Dave. It wasn't like a consistent thing, and I think that was just after he'd actually got drop kicked. So he was probably just one of the players, because we had a few that were drop kicked. They were a really cynical, dirty team. So he made the effort most of the night. I think the fact that he just jogged back that one time was because he just got a good kick in. I hope so. I hope so, because he's someone who we could really, really do with, because he brings legs and energy to the side. So I've not heard anything definitive yet, but it's still a possibility, Amanda. Dele Alli probably is better than Rondon, but his heart isn't in it. That's the truth of the matter. Sorry, I've just Mark. Yeah, he is. He's obviously a much better footballer, but he wants to be the big man in a small pool, and if that's what suits him best, I'm quite happy to save the 120 grand a week and the place in the squad, and save it for somebody who's actually going to contribute more than the odd 20 minutes here and there. So I hope you don't mind. I'm just scrolling through and answering a few bits and pieces as I go.
Hi, it's Jeff. Jeff is relatively new to the channel. He's just finding his way with the controls and stuff. So just let him do his thing.
Yes, it is Dave, but then he's not going to be the starting left back. So that was his first real run out. So he'll have learnt something from that, hopefully. And obviously he's going to train more and more and more. And probably in the Premier League, Dave, I would imagine he's just going to be a substitute here and there. So I don't expect him to be starting games anytime soon.
We need Dan to come on and inject some positivity, because the score pointed in it really, as Kevin says, you would have expected Everton to have won 3-4-0.
Yeah.
For one goal.
No, I wouldn't. To be honest, this is the thing: is positivity is all well and good, but if you really did expect Everton to smash this game today, I would suggest that you've been huffing on something, because our ability to finish isn't going to improve until we get people who have the ability to finish. That's just a simple fact. We do not have the players that we require, and this next, what is it, 8 days now after today, is going to be absolutely pivotal, because this team, as it stands, is not surviving in this league without the goals.
And I want to know what everyone else thinks about this. And of course, if you're new here, please subscribe. Make sure you like the video, even if you don't like the result, like the video, because it helps us with the algorithm. Jeff, assuming Anthony Gordon goes this week, which I think is inevitable, I think it's the structure of the day, the reason we've declined it. That's what I've been told by a reliable source.
Yeah, I've heard the same.
So, assuming Gordon's gone, whether he really truly wants to or not, I mean, there is a business decision behind it, and Dele Alli's gone. We don't sign anyone else now. Would you say that Everton would be favourites to get relegated? Would you expect us to stay in this league? I absolutely would stay up this season if we don't recruit.
Yeah, I would say we need at least 4 positive signings. So you are talking João Pedro, if that's possible. I've heard that he's actually interested.
But is that
Brozier is still likely. I think Garner Gay is still likely. And then possibly someone else as well, like another forward player, not specifically a striker, but, and then obviously, hopefully DCL comes back in some kind of reasonable form. But yeah, we're not going to be much more than a distinctly average team, and we're going to rely on our home record this season.
You take 17th.
Sorry?
Would you take 17th? No. Because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, even if we get likes of João Pedro, it's a lot to ask. Now,
it is a lot to ask because he's only 20.
I actually looked through the team. I know obviously the Charles Stevenson tweet the other day. Did you see it, where he listed every single player and how many goals he scored? But then I look at it. I'm trying to not think about the past. I'm trying to think about the now. Where are the goals coming from? Because I think we probably need players to come in who are going to score 10 plus, and then maybe someone like Conor Gallagher who's going to get you 8 to 10 goals from midfield. I think then you'd be comfortable, because I think at the moment we might get maybe 30 goals.
I don't see Conor Gallagher happening, for the simple reason that they're not going to let him go on a permanent, And if we can only have one loan, Brozier's the priority because he plays at the sharp end of the pitch. Even though, like, Gallagher's someone I've always liked and always wanted. I think they like him at Chelsea, and I think he's likely to stay. So I think we're looking at probably Garner once they've finished faffing about and arguing. I think Brozier will arrive, fingers crossed. And then, like I said, 2 players, hopefully a striker and somebody more creative, which I'm hoping that's João Pedro. He's quite a nippy, creative player, so hopefully he'll add something. But yeah, it's going to be a struggle this season, isn't it? It really is going to be a struggle this season.
3 goals for João Pedro last season. I did a little video this afternoon on that. I think that's the type of player you want when you've got established names as well who are going to deliver. You know, not to just chuckle your eggs and say we're going to get this player. We scored 3 goals last year, and he's going to get 10 to 15 for us this season, which ultimately we need, because I don't think the goals are spread out through this team like you see with other teams.
No, I know.
I think like very much a reliance on Calvert-Lewin. I'm not trying to sound down, but I feel, to be honest with you, I do feel down in the dumps with it all at the moment.
I do. I think we're fully entitled to feel down, and there's no point kind of trying to blow smoke up everyone's butt and pretend that we're going to be some amazing team, because the jury's totally out until we see who we sign and then see these players actually on the pitch. We're not going to know anything until we actually see some results. We see players playing well, until we actually see some kind of impact on this team. Because without, like, you know me, I try and see the positive, but again, I see this being a long old season. And the only thing that makes me feel better about this season than last season is the fact that we're much better defensively, so we're less likely to get overrun by teams than we were before. But we are going to have to win a lot of games 1-0, because we ain't going to score 3 or 4. So it is going to be a case of keep them tight, do the best we can, nick a goal, and hold on. You know, it's going to be like that. So yeah, I'd like to be more positive, but reality is what reality is, isn't it? That's all I was going to say, Ryan. you go. I've run out of things to say that sound positive.
There's over 50 people watching, joined us on this.
Oh, thanks everyone for coming on.
Tuesday afternoon, live on YouTube. Not afternoon, sorry, evening. Just, I mean, it's draining because I'm going on social media. I'm on Twitter. I like to look at the transfer rumors, and I'm on it and I'm looking. I'm just waiting for that link. You know, that one that's going to just lift you. Like maybe Everton have bid 35 million plus add-ons for a player that gets you off your seat and excites us. But by the way, Dan has appeared. I'm going to bring him in now.
Was he here?
Yeah.
Come on, Dan.
My closing thoughts. I'll be honest, because I didn't see a lot of the game, so it's difficult for me to sit here in a position of sort of authority and give you my thoughts on the match, because I only saw 30 minutes at the end of the first 15 minutes.
If you saw 30 minutes at the end, you saw the whole game.
Well, yeah. To be honest, that's why I played 5-a-side, Jeff, because I've seen it time and time again. I don't think the current crop of players are enough. We don't have enough, I don't think, because we're compensating from the lack of midfielders by putting 5 at the back. I think in an ideal world, we all want a 4-3-3 with another midfielder in there, but we don't have that. We're a little bit toothless at the top end. So my shopping list, before I let Dan swap seats with me, get in the central defensive midfielder like Garner, get him in there. Yeah. Just get the deal done. Just fuck it. We've got bigger priorities right now. Get him in there. And I think that's one box ticked. I don't think we've got anyone who really takes the set pieces like the corners, the penalties, the free kicks, who's going to create and make us tick. I think Iwobi is like very, very mobile, good at the short passes and the interchange, but I don't think he's going to be, that sort of creative out and out Ericsson or a Sigurdsson or a James type player. I think we've got to get someone in like that. And if that means getting rid of Andre Gomez or Allen and making space on the wage, we'll do it. And then we've got to replace Richarlison. We can't be naive and say we've sold a top scorer and top assister after the worst season in Everton's Premier League history and expect us to do anything. It's completely naive to expect us to be better than last season. You've sold the most important player. Got to replace him. Now you're saying we're selling our other probably most effective attacker in terms of his pace, his mobility, his ability to draw fouls. You've got to replace him. And then I want someone to compete for the number 9 shirt with DCL, a reliable target man or a goal poacher. So that's my shopping list. That's what I want to see. And now I'm bringing in Dan, the wonderful Toffee Blue 1. Dan, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Jeff and Dan. I'm going to be backstage watching. But to be fair to you, Jeff, when you're done, you just click end. You literally just click end.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I'm not going to go too long because it's.
Go on.
I think everyone's probably half asleep already, and there isn't a lot to talk about in this game, is there? So
make sure you subscribe. Try.
Nice one. Thanks, Ryan. Go on, Dan. Hello, my mate. How are you doing? I think he's frozen.
I'm going to be looking the opposite way on the camera.
Oh, are you? Is that what it is?
Yeah, because that's the reason. I've just had a fight with the camera. My daughter's had the camera stand, and I've just had to. What I've got it propped on is just not good. But
no.
So I'm basically looking one way and looking in the camera the other. But hey ho, I just wanted to come on. I've just had a fight. I was all organised, ready, and she's had it. The camera stand, but as long as you listen to me, that's the main thing.
Why wasn't she in bed?
Yeah,
at this late hour of night. Why wasn't she in bed? You're a bad influence, my friend.
Watching Everton. Watching Everton. Proper Evertonian, mate.
Yeah. So go on then. Your thoughts on the game, mate?
Well, I went on a space at half time. I tell you something. I was on strike. Get our players off the pitch. I don't know if you've seen what I was saying. I was absolutely fuming. I was fuming. Like, seriously, this was disgusting. Like, really, really disgusting. Like, Onana, obviously he's 6'5", 6'6", whatever he is. They was just going out. They targeted him because he's a big lad, and they was just having free digs at him. And you're gonna frigging put his career back if you keep doing that. There was that one where he had studs into his ankles. That was proper dirty. That was, and again, and again, and again, and again. And I'm thinking, like, I wanted to see Onana this game to see what he can do, but
yes, please.
You can't see what he can do, can you, Jeff? If he's literally getting crunched every second, full-on dirty tackles, not even going for the ball.
Really? They're going to let him go to Palace again? That kind of makes sense. He doesn't have to move, I suppose.
Who's that?
Gallagher. Because if they're going to let him go, they're not going to sell him. But, we can only have one loan, so I think we want Brozier. And so that means we can't get Gallagher. So... yeah, I can understand him going back to Palace.
You can only take so much from the game, obviously, but because it's not massively important. But I was a little bit disappointed. I feel like we massively couldn't play well because they was dirty. But then I expected a bit more from McNeil. I thought McNeil let me down a little bit today. I thought he looked very slow and didn't look up for it. And I just think to myself, if you're not getting into the first team, then when you play this game, you've got to show that you want to get into the first team. And McNeil didn't show that for me today. He wasn't bombing it forward. No. He wasn't driving. He was really defensive. There was loads of times that Vinagre was down that left wing and McNeil could have been in the box to score, and he looked like he didn't have the motivation to get in the box. I actually thought he'd score 1 or 2 goals today. I was a bit disappointed in McNeil.
Yeah. But, there's a mate of mine called Craig. You met him at the game.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, he basically said after 2 games, he said he's not good enough. And he said, I'm a really good judge of this, and he isn't up to the standard. And basically said we shouldn't have signed him. And I kind of said, well, you can't judge someone after like one game. But having said that, he's going to have to do a lot more to convince people that like we haven't made a mistake signing him, because he's done bugger all so far. Yeah, he's done bugger all. Mopay would do for me as well, but sorry, I'm not bringing up the. Yeah, Mopay would do for me, but I don't. Oh God, he's gone again. I think his battery's gone. Yeah, Mopay would do for me as well. Blue nose. But I think he might actually be staying at Brighton. Diaz is a cheap punt, so I don't mind him at all. Kudos, it isn't a risk. I know that there's a thing about him being injury prone, but the actual truth of the matter is that he actually had fractured ribs, so that's not really something that would count him as an injury prone thing. He got elbowed in the ribs and got fractured ribs. So he's had one injury earlier in his career, which was a leg injury, but then the other injury he had was literally fractured ribs from getting elbowed. So I don't think that he's necessarily injury prone. You're back, mate.
No,
sorry.
I didn't even know I was gone. I was still talking, and
Did you not know?
I'm just having massive technical errors here today, but it's one of them, isn't it?
This is what happened when you let your children near the camera equipment. This is it, you see.
Yeah, she's done her own thing on it. I think she's done me over, but yeah, it's just
Kevin.
Diaz, Blackburn. A lot of people love Diaz, don't they? That's
I just think that for the money, like, he is a finisher, and he might not be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but we don't need the greatest thing since sliced bread. We just need somebody to score a reasonable number of goals, but also actually do something up top as well.
I've been getting behind Rondon, but today you could generally see he's just not good enough, is he? He's too slow.
Cart horse.
It's not even his fault. He was really working hard, but he's busting his guts, but he hasn't got the energy to get to where he needs to get, and he's putting too much effort in. Like, I looked at him, and he was like, he closed his eyes, and he acted like his body was in agony just through running about, doing normal movement that strikers do with ease. And I'm thinking, you are trying to do it, but you're too old, and you're finished, and we shouldn't be doing that on him. I just feel like I'll move him on to a lower league standard, because
I think
tonight he showed he's not good enough.
I think that is the plan, is once we actually get the players in we need, I think he's someone who we're looking to actually get rid of. But in the meantime, he's the only one we've got. So I think it's a case of... but yeah,
someone's just said it catches up with us. I completely agree. That's why I said I feel sorry for him, because like I've just been out today playing around, and I'm in absolute agony where I'd normally do it with ease. So you do feel things as you get older, of course you do.
Yeah,
Rondon needs someone close to him. I don't even think it's that. At the end of the day, it's Premier League standard. You can't just. You've got to have more skill than just get the ball into you, ain't you, Jeff? You've got to be able to run into the channels. Otherwise, we're just playing with a weak player.
It is. You're not wrong, Mark. It is very depressing watching us at the moment.
I thought Gray looked fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, Gray. Really, really good.
I think you mean Diaz from Blackburn, Amanda. If you're talking about Brighton. No, it's
I know
Diaz,
who she means.
It's Diaz from Blackburn. Yeah, it's so yeah, I think that's who you mean, Amanda.
Shea Adams scored twice again tonight, did he?
Yeah, but of course, if you listen to all of the in-the-know Evertonians, who think they know what they're talking about, Shea Adams isn't good enough for Everton. apparently. It just baffles my brain because it's like
typical, like
well, it's what do they think Everton are? Like, we aren't very good. So the idea that like us turning our nose up at a player like Jay Adams, newsflash, we're not very good. He will improve us. He isn't gonna play for a top 6 side, but we're not a top 6 side. We're a bottom 6 side realistically, and Che Adams improves us, and he can actually knows where the goal is. Sorry.
I thought I did think we showed good patches tonight on the ball.
Yeah,
I thought Wobie was class. Patterson and both wing backs looked like we were pinging the ball from left to right pretty good. Just had nothing in that number.
Yeah, I don't see that, Kenny. I don't. I think if at the end of the window we've signed nobody, then maybe. But I think he's committed to the project as I see it. So he's not the character to walk away. I don't see that.
All strikers.
Sorry, yeah. It is right. That's exactly the thing. Is we're in a situation right now where until we get our business done, we're all worrying and we're all a little bit depressed and we're all a little bit down because we can see the problems, which is true in it. Done, he's back. He's gone. He's back. He's still there, mate. More like Walker time. I don't know about that, Mark. I presume you're on about a Mr. Mike Walker. So I'm gonna pretend that I never saw that because that's a horrific memory from my past. Yeah, that's exactly right. I agree with you, Amanda. That's exactly who we're waiting for. I have heard that is going to happen, but with Everton, don't say anything is certain until it's crossed the line. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read the rest of these comments. Yeah, I Balotelli. I do understand. The appeal of that, but also the drawbacks of that. Dan doesn't look the happiest man in the world, but then, to be honest, I think if we all look in the mirror, none of us are looking too chuffed. How can a Premier League time have? Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to ask the people who work in our boardroom, and that's a conversation for another day. Yeah, Mark, I agree. I think he would be an able player for us. Like I said, he doesn't need to be world class. He just needs to be better than what we've got. Yeah, I agree with you, Mark. Jay Adams scored another 2 tonight after scoring 2 the other day, but he's apparently, according to all of our expert fans, he isn't good enough for us. So I'm not too sure about that one. Let's have a look. See. Right, how close is DCL to match fitness? So as far as I'm aware, he's out on the grass and he's training now. So I don't know whether he's going to be ready to play in the next 2 weeks, but he's not far off that. So that's the best answer I can give you. But yeah, he should be sort of back in training in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So it's possibly a stupid signing, but it wasn't for big money, despite what you've heard. We've paid 6 million down. The fee is guaranteed at 15, and then possibly rising to 20 if he completes certain objectives. That's not a big signing in this day and age. No, he's not. he's Chinese league level, mate. He's not even good enough to play in this country anymore, in my opinion. Yes, he is only 22, and the big problem, Thomas, is that it's not a case of he's 22. He's someone who built his game on crossing the ball, and we've got no one for him to cross the ball to who can actually get up and head a ball. So it kind of leaves him with nowhere to go, unfortunately. When Gray scored, he looked embarrassed to even celebrate. Yeah, because he was basically playing against a really poor side, and it was just far too easy. But yeah, he needs pass. Yeah, that's exactly right, Amanda. He needs passes in the box to work off, and until he's got someone, ideally DCL. You put DCL in the side and give McNeil a chance to cross the ball, and he'll start getting assists, and the team will start working all right. Yeah, Michael. Is that a really bad thing? I've known quite a few players who are on left foot who are really, really good. So I'm not going to hold that against him. And let's be honest, anything that improves us, I'm happy with. What's this one? Yes, it does. Yeah, it does catch up with us. But the thing is, he's not actually that old. He's just really, really poor. Yeah, he needs someone close to him, like a carer or someone, I think. He's not a footballer. Sorry, I know that's a sarcastic answer, but I think he's one of the worst footballers I've ever watched live. He works hard, but like if he had a FIFA card, his skill level would be below 60. Let's have a look. DCL and Rondon together up front. Oh dear Lord, no! Please don't, Amanda. I hope, Amanda, that at the end of the window, Rondon isn't at the club anymore, and somebody else is playing with DCL. I really hope that that's the case. Yeah, I agree, Nick. You're exactly right. He has got to be a better option than what we've got at the minute. Thanks for commenting. Thanks, everyone. Just got to say thanks, everyone, for still being on and just listening to me ramble, because everyone else has abandoned me or got cut off, and I'm just trying to do the best I can on my own. Bound to pick up injuries because we can't rotate players. Yeah, that's obviously going to be a problem, but we can't really do anything about that until our owners actually deal with the problems. Yeah, and this is the thing, Hugh. You're right. I think that we've got players. The passing is better. The defending is better. We've got the bare bones, but we're like a Sunday roast without the meat at the moment. That we've got the veggies and we've got the gravy, but without the actual meat on the plate, it's not a roast dinner, and that's the problem. Is we need everything on the plate to work, really, don't we? Let's have a little look. See, there's a lot of messages coming in here. Again, us fans have to get our head. Sorry about this. I'm trying to read as many as I can. Again, we have to get around the fact that we have been putting for the last 2 years. Yeah, I know, and that's the problem, Sean. Is that, and this is why anyone who's criticising Frank Lampard needs to give the head a wobble, because he's walking into a situation that isn't his fault, and he's doing the best he can. Same with Thelwall, but the restrictions are what the restrictions are. So we've just got to do the best we can. Yeah. Any other Premier League striker against them tonight? Yeah, absolutely. You're right, Dave. We have to be patient with the team. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is, but it's difficult sometimes when things aren't going well. It's easy to it's easy to see the negative, and it's difficult to see the positive. Yeah, a striker will make us better, Amanda. You're exactly right. Getting a striker will be the most difficult, and this is the thing: is it's always the most difficult thing for any team. Is even the big teams are struggling to find strikers. You know, with massive budgets and loads of money. It took 3 years for Arteta to find Gabriel Jesus, and they were all over the place before that, and they were in the bottom 3 on occasions. And that's what we have to remember is that we are a work in progress, and we've just got to do the best we can in the meantime until we get the players that were required, and then we can start judging what we've actually got. Yeah, I did, but then quite a lot of teams did that. So you're right, Michael. Sorry. Thanks everyone for sticking on, by the way, because you're just listening to me ramble. But I appreciate everyone who stayed on, and thanks very much for all your comments. And as Ryan says, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share as well. Yeah, I think that's slightly harsh. That I thought he was good in patches, but again, it's his first game, and you know, I'm not gonna throw anyone away for their first game. So, I think he's shown enough in patches to say that he could be a good player, but he's still young, and he's just arrived here, so he's someone we need to give time for. Yeah, that's probably true, which is why I'm really pleased that I don't have to make the decision, Sean. Yeah, I'm really pleased that it's not me. Yeah, I would be really happy with that, Mark. Yeah, Diaz, Pedro, Brozier, and of course Garner. Yeah, no, I would be really happy with that as well. Dan's camera froze. Yes, thanks. I kind of figured that out, Sean. Sorry, Hugh. I mean, yeah, I kind of figured that out. So the perils of having children, I think, to be honest, mate, is his daughter messed with his camera setup, and I think it was a bit tonto from the get-go. Possibly that's. He had a bad injury, and it's one of those. Sometimes it comes good again, sometimes it doesn't. And until he needs to play a consistent number of games before we completely write him off. Because the thing that you've got to remember is that he was here for like 3.5 years, 4 years, barely got an injury at all. So it's not like he was always an injury-prone player. He got one really bad injury, and then he's had niggles since then. So we just got to hope that he can come good because we need him. But it is a worry. I won't lie about that. It is a worry. Yeah, you're right, Sean. They are all low scoring, but then if you actually look around the league, most strikers these days are low scoring. It's very, very rare that you get strikers in this league these days that do more than 20, and they're world class. World class. If you're doing 20 goals in the Premier League on a regular basis, you're a world class striker, 100 million plus. Like between 10 and 15 for most strikers is a reasonable season in this league. So two strikers that score 1 in 3, and we're doing all right. So yeah. Yes, I am happy, Jazz. Hello, my darling. How are you doing? Happy you. Happy you. Well, I'm glad you've joined, Jazz, because everyone else has abandoned me. So it's just me on my own. A striker is not a quick fix to our issues, but it's a fix of sorts. The best, we're not going to solve all of our problems in one day, But again, it's like we have to get through the next season, and then we have to get through the season and after that, and we have to consistently improve over the period of time. So that's the best. That's what we're trying to do. But we are working under constraints, so we have to do the best we can. Yeah, I think he's decent, and like I said, once we've got a striker for him to cross the ball to, then we can start judging, because crossing is his game. That's really what he's here for. So behind Rondon. Sorry, what's that? Be behind Rondon. Are you for real? Nothing personal. It's a disgrace. He's our striker. I am for real, and I can have an opinion, and I've watched him play a lot, and he is not a striker. He's a warm body who fills up a shirt and adds basically nothing in the way of threat. That's my opinion. You're happy for you to disagree with that, and I'm not disrespecting him as a human being or as a person. He's not good enough. It's as simple as that. He's not good enough. Well, again, this is one of those, what Brozier will bring us. A physical presence, movement. He's actually got some pace. And although he's not a consistent finisher, he is a finisher. At this moment in time, I've always said I'm not a big fan, but I probably would take him at this moment in time. I really would, because we need help. So yeah. There's 40 strikers across you. Yeah, I agree with you. There's at least 40 across Europe, I'd take, and probably quite a few in the Championship as well that I would literally like drive to go and get them. Yeah, he's basically the only person we've got at the moment who seems capable of finishing. Yeah, I know. We saw that he scored another 2 tonight. And yeah, he's someone I would quite happily take. He's one of those that the first instinct when you hear his name mentioned is, oh my God, Che Adams, seriously, can't we do better? And then you watch Everton play, and then you look at our team and you think, oh no, actually, he is better. He's better than what we've got. So yeah, I would take him all day. Yes, it is strange, but then you would have to assume that there's more to the story than meets the eye. If he isn't pulling up trees in training, and if he isn't looking like adding something to the what we've got, then I would expect that's the reason why he's ducking out and going. And we're going to save a lot of money and save ourselves from paying an exorbitant fee for so it's just a good deal for us financially. Cut our losses and move on. Yes, we do, Everton Rose. Hello, darling. How are you doing? Sorry. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming on the channel. Yeah. 4 goals, 2 games. Yeah, add a few million. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. He's probably gone up to 30 million now, hasn't he? Yeah, it should countenance that DCL is now injury prone. Yeah, I know, and that's why we need to bring in 2 strikers rather than 1, because we cannot rely on just DCL alone. And so if he gets injured again, we still need 2 strikers who are actually at least reasonably good in the Premier League. That's why I think we have to sign 2. Whether that'll be Brozier and somebody else, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that. There must be. And yeah, I think that There's probably reasons for it. I don't think we've completed. I don't think Thelwall has completed his scouting network yet. So I think that he's working in the best situation he can while he employs more staff and increases his scouting network. So at the moment, we're looking at the areas where we know what we're doing. Let's have a look. Yes, he will. He will. He will. And you know, that's just one of our problems. Lol, indeed. Thanks. Let's have a look. Sorry, I do apologise for the care remark, but sorry, I'm feeling tired now. So, but yeah, thanks, Kevin. Lampard will lose his job for the board's downfall. Well, I understand that. Yeah, that's a possibility. Not giving him the tools to do the job. Thanks very much. Love you too, Jewish boy. Cheers, my mate. Cheers. Thanks, Mark. I'm doing my best, buddy. We don't have a striker by Brentford. We will have to park the bus and hope Demarai Gray scores. Yeah, no, I agree. You're spot on. You're spot on. I'm trying to hope and pray that we've got something sorted. Do I think we'll spend the money properly? I hope so, Amanda. I really do. I really do, because we have to. This is the window that, more than any that we've had before, this is the window we've got to get right. We have to get it right. Cheers, Michael. Yeah, I am good on the metaphors. Thanks, my mate. I try. Yeah, okay. Thanks, buddy. Any chance a manager could lace up the boots? Please, I'd love. Yeah. God, how much would you kill for Frank Lampard actually on the pitch? Wow. Let's have a look and see. It's like having Ever without the ton. Yeah, it's just me. Oh well. I'm doing the best, Jazz. I'm doing the best. Hope you're doing all right. Work in progress with not one star player. I agree with that, Mark, but then I also think that I don't care about star players, because we've signed star players and they were rubbish and they cost too much money and they did bugger all. I'd rather have a team full of grafters. It'll give me a 7 out of 10 performance and aren't star players, because star players let us down. Star players are why we're in this mess, because massive wage bill for a bunch of wasters who did nothing, won nothing, achieved nothing, and actually made the team worse over the years. Yeah. So, thanks, my mate. Much appreciated. Andy Gray, Sharp, Tony Cotty. Which one would you take in their prime? Andy Gray. Andy Gray was a goal machine. Yeah. Andy Gray in all day, every day. I know the Lukaku argument, and fair enough. I can see why some people might see Lukaku, but I'm a bit of a veteran, as you all know. So I grew up watching Andy Gray. I grew up watching Graham Sharp. Sorry, and yeah, he'd walk back into our side, no probs at all. And yeah, I would definitely take Amakachi now, just because he's a grafter, really. Cheers, Nick. Appreciate it. Thanks very much. Yes, apparently I am, mate. Apparently I am. I'm running this channel now. Let's have a look. Have I an update on Ghana? No, it's still a work in progress. As far as I'm aware, it's still going to happen. It's just a case of basically arguing the toss with PSG over a few quid. So, yeah, I still expect him to be here. Yeah, he is still coming. Yeah. I'd take either of them. Yeah, I'd take either of them, and I wouldn't necessarily have a preference. Like either of them would walk into our team, no probs. I think they've got slightly different characteristics, but I'd probably choose Tony because he's been playing in the Premier League recently. So, yeah, that's that. Yeah, probably him because of the experience. But yeah, I agree that Tammy Abrams would also be good. Yeah, Dembele is a one. Yeah, again, it's another one in the similar to the Diaz from Blackburn. Is like he's worth a punt at that kind of price because he's not going to cost a lot of money, is he? So I'd quite happily risk that kind of 10, 12, 15 million on someone because he'll be good enough. Oh, my first game at Goodison Park. Oh, I'm very old now, so it's real tough to remember. Yeah, I think I don't. I'll be honest. I don't remember. I really don't. I don't remember what my first game was. I remember when I started going regular. That oh god, I really am showing my age. But Howard Kendall wasn't even manager yet when I started going to watch the games. So it's going back a while. I'll try and have a think and let you know. My understanding is also that he will join. Yeah, I agree. Thanks, Charles. Cheers for the update. And yeah, that's exactly what I expected. Thanks for the update, Charles. Hopefully, brochure, and then we can spend the money that we make on some other players as well. Because if you saw any of tonight's match, Charles, we desperately need it. Like the 80s, if you score 20, yeah, it's not like the 80. Yeah, 20 goal a season strikers are rare now. It was quite common back in the day, but it's just not the same anymore. I understand there's that. I haven't reviewed bets from Chelsea until oh, nice one. Cheers. Thanks for that. That's for anyone who wants to know. My mate Charles there with a little update for you on what's going on. So yeah, Gordon is probably still going to go. But we're going to be refreshing Twitter like maniacs for the next week until everything's sorted. So who knows? It's a case of when, not if, on most of this stuff. But we're all going to have to, like I say, we're going to be sitting there refreshing Twitter like maniacs. Thanks very much. I appreciate that. It wasn't meant to be an interactive stream, but you've got lots of questions, so it would be rude for me not to answer as many as I possibly can. Yeah, now this to me is what makes the move make sense. Because I heard the argument, Michael, that people said, well, why would we sell Gordon and then bring in someone like Pedro? Isn't that just swapping one up and coming player for another? And I said, well, yeah, it is. But we make 30 million quid out of it too. So we're swapping one potentially good player for another potentially good player and then having money left over. Which to me, that's sensible business, which I'm happy for this club to do finally. Yeah, it wouldn't be my first choice either. I don't really particularly rate him. Let's have a look. McTominay from United. Yeah, I mean, is he better than what we probably got? Yeah. Is he someone I'd want? Not particularly, but you know, I'm not the football genius, so I'd have my own personal preferences. But he could probably do a good job for. He's better than what we've got. Let's be honest. That's true. What's this? Let's have a look. Apparently, we need to give Onana and Vega time. Yeah, you're right here. Yeah. Well, this is the thing is, like the fans are reactive. That's just the way it goes. If you want common sense, like don't go on Everton Twitter because it doesn't necessarily go together. Common sense and Everton Twitter after a match result, especially, it tends to get emotional and heated. 24 better in League Two. Not entirely sure what you mean there, but yeah, probably 24 better strikers in League Two than I can't even bring his name to mind. Rondon, yeah. Would you bring back Fellaini? I love Fellaini. I'm not sure whether he's still up to the job, but if he is, yeah, definitely. And oh yes, that's a good one. He's one of my favourite players, so yeah, I'd love to have him back because I liked him. But you know, that's just a personal preference. No, you're right. You are right, and that's a conversation for Frank Lampard. I couldn't possibly judge. I would prefer Pedro to Sarr, and I think the reason for that is just in my personal opinion. I think Pedro looks like he's got more to come. I think Sarr is what Sarr is, but I'd take both. I'd take almost anyone at the moment if they helped our attack. Work permits. No, I don't think that's the reason why the Ghana deal isn't happening. It's just to do with a financial dispute with him and PSG, if that's what you're on about. Yeah, he could. But to be honest, I'd literally take him being the next sort of I don't know, Andy Johnson. That'd do. Just someone who can get down there and score. Anyone who can get the ball in the net, I'll be happy with. We have to play, not to concede. Yeah, that's exactly the whole plan, and I think that's what Frank recognised early doors. Oh, I'll take a little bit of praise. Thank you very much, Amanda. Much appreciated. I don't know if anyone's still actually watching, apart from about 5 of us. Let's have a look. The guy who came on a preseason game. Yes, yeah. I think my nan is probably a better finisher than him, mate, and she's been long gone. But I do particularly dislike Rondon. I don't know why we signed him, and bless him, he tries, but yeah, he's really not good. Yeah, sharp for me all day as well, my friend. Sharp for me all day. Yeah. Thanks, Jeff. Great solo show. I am doing my best, mate. I'm doing my best. Thanks very much. Everyone's still commenting and liking is much appreciated. I'm doing the best I can. Will we ever get another Dixie? There will never be another Dixie. They just won't. Dixie was a different generation to he was just on a different level to everyone else. I don't think that players like him exist anymore. No, he's too old. He's too old. The other half of my headset's here. I just couldn't be bothered with it because it was doing my head in. Thanks. So yeah, I've just got it on one ear because it just feels more comfy. Yes, Catrick. I think he was a little bit before my time, Michael, but yeah, I think my first kind of hero was probably Mitt Lyons and Latchford were probably the first ones I can really have clear memories on. Where was Alan tonight? I don't know, but he's another one I think is probably on his way out the club. I think that we're trying to arrange a loan for him. So there's 3 or 4 players that we're trying to move on. And I think the fact is that we've got 26. I think we've got 26 players in the squad, and we need to move certain people on, loan people out to make some space in the squad for the additions that we want to bring in. So whoever is working in the transfer department for the next week and a half is going to be busy. Yeah, yeah, that's not a surprise to me at all. It's as good as gone. Yeah, I expected that as well. Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? Is we've all got our opinions on the lad. I don't have a bad word to say about him. He worked his arse off. He tried his best. But the realistic truth is that he could take 2 or 3 years before he becomes a really good player. And we haven't got the time. We need really good players for now who can put something on the pitch and keep us in this league until we get to Bramley-Moore Dock. And so we have to make practical decisions. So that's why I said I don't rule anyone out for a transfer, because whoever we bring in needs to produce. They need to produce pretty quickly. So yeah, I'm looking for people who've got experience. And I think that's going back to the question I had before about why are we not looking in South America and all this other stuff. I think it's because we need people who we can just drop straight in without waiting for a long time, players who've played in this league or in the championship. So that's why we're looking at people like João Pedro or people like Che Adams or people like that, because we need finished article or close to finished article. I generally don't want United rejects, but I would literally bite your hand off for Phil Neville right now. So I wouldn't say that was a 100% given. Tim Howard did really well for us as well, so I wouldn't rule anyone out on the basis of who they used to play for. I don't care. Nice touch with the goalkeeper's kit this season. Yeah, and that's a statement that bears repeating. He is the greatest of all time, and the greatest player I've ever seen in person, and my favorite player of all time, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, Big Nev is the man. The fact that he hasn't got a statue, I don't want to get on a rant because I will have opinions on that. But yeah, he should be up there with the greats. He's our most successful player in history. He's won more trophies than any other player that we've had. And the fact that he hasn't got a trophy, a statue outside Goodison Park, boils my what's the name. So yeah. So let's have a look, see where we're at. Yep. I'm here. Let's have a little see. I'm here on Twitter. Yeah, that's the thing, is some people are not to be taken seriously. Gonna striker. No, he shouldn't. He really shouldn't. No, I don't think he was for real. I think he was just joking. sometimes people just say stuff for a giggle. Yes, Amanda. Yes, indeed. Like, yeah. Gordon really gone. Good. Now crack on with getting some decent players in. Yes, please. Absolutely, yes, please. South Americans need work permits. Yeah, and they often have dual ownership and things like that, which always make life difficult. You know, they're owned 50% by a club in Spain and 50% by Vasco da Gama or whoever the hell else it is they come from. And they've all got dodgy agents too, so it can be a nightmare. Yeah, it could be hard too. Yeah, Joe, you're right. It could definitely be hard. Let's have a look. See, flying cart horse should be honoured. Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look. Remember when I was young, we won the FA Cup. Next season we send. And on that note, because it's a positive one, the best signing we've ever made, in my opinion, was that lad. When he signed, I was so excited. I was literally as excited as I've ever been for any signing we've ever made when we signed Kanchelskis, because he was mustard. And I think, in my opinion, he's the last world-class player that we actually signed, because he was world-class when we signed him. And after that, we weren't a big team anymore. Yeah. I don't think they would do that, though, because a certain misty-eyed Bill wouldn't like that, would he? Yeah, sorry, I don't want to get political on the stuff. Right, I think that's going to do for me. So I'm just going to say thanks very much to everyone who's come on. It's been a really good stream, and thanks for everyone for sending in your questions, and for those who've stuck with me and watched for an hour and 15 minutes, mostly me rambling to myself. Have yourself all a good evening, and catch you on the next space. We'll probably be doing a pre-match on Thursday or Friday. So yeah, thanks very much, and enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll see you next time. Thanks very much. Up the toffees.